Good morning, everybody. We're going to be doing lesson 12.3 today, solving word problems using measurement and data. Okay, and your learning target that you should copy in your notebook is I can solve problems using data in a line plot. Okay, so we're going to do the solve and share. It says rain for the Amazon was measured and recorded for 30 days. The results were displayed in a line plot. What can you tell about the differences in the amounts of rainfall? Okay, so let's look at this picture. What do we know that's happening in this line plot? Okay, the title tells us that this is Amazon rainfall. The bottom is telling us that this is all measurements in inches. What do all these dots represent? They're the day's amount of rainfall. Okay, by looking at this, we can tell a lot of different things, like how many days did it rain less than 1.5 inches? Well, you would look here, everything that is less than 1.5, and each dot is a single day. So you could just count up how many dots are less than 1/2, and you would get 13, let's see, 2 and 4 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there would be 13 days it rained less than 1.5 inches. Okay, you could also look at it, how many days did it rain more than 1.5 inches? So you would look here. These amounts are more than 1.5, and that would be 6. There's a lot of things you can tell just by looking at the line plots. Okay, so how can you use measurement data in a line plot to solve problems? Bruce measured the daily rainfall while working in Costa Rica. His line plot shows the rainfall for each day in September. So this is all the measurements for each day in September, and they're all fractional amounts. What is the total rainfall for the month? Okay, so you'd have to figure this out by finding out how much it rained for each of these amounts. Okay, so you would create a frequency chart. This is going to help you a lot to organize it all. Okay, so you have 1/4 inches. You have, how many times was it on the graph for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you would multiply that by 5. Okay, what does that look like as a multiplication sentence? 5, or you could do it the other way, 1/4 times 5, it's still the same thing. Okay, remember how to solve this. You take the, let me just get my marker ready for you. Good, here we go. You could do 5/1 times 1/4, okay, and multiply straight across. You get 5/4. You know that's an improper fraction, and you have to change it into a mixed number, which is what they did, and they got 1 1/4. Okay. I'm not going to do this for all of them because that's painfully slow for me to write like that. But you can see how to set up your multiplication. Then you have 3/8. It's there 12 times. So you have to multiply that out. And you get 12 times 3/8 equals 4.5. Then we do the same thing for these. So try to write this out. Looking at the graph, how many times would 1/2, does 1/2 appear? 5 times. Okay, so you're going to multiply 1/2 times 5, which is going to give you 2.5. Okay, then you do it for 5/8. It is also there for 5 times. Okay, and then we do this. 5 times 5/8 equals 3 1/8. 3/4 times 3 is going to give you, okay, it's a lot of multiplication, but it's not so bad. And then you could add up all the totals. For all intents and purposes, I'm just going to let you leave it like this, but you could add all these up. Okay, so let's look at another problem. We have this line plot shows how many grams of salt were left after liquids in various containers evaporated. So they want you to write and solve an equation that represents the total number of grams of salt. So when we were over on the previous page, we were writing it out in a frequency chart. Here we're just going to write an entire equation Okay, so here we have 7.5, which is here. We have 7 times 1.5, because 1/2 showed up 7 times, plus 2 times 4, because the 4 showed up 2 times, plus I already clicked this one. So 3 and 6.5, and then you have 7 showed up 5 times. Okay, then you have, all I did here now to make my life easier was I just switched these two middle ones so that my whole numbers were on one side and my fraction parts were on the other side, so I could solve them easier. Okay, then you're just going to put 7 over 1 and multiply it across. This is going to become 7 times 3 over 2. This is going to, which is 21, 21 halves and 39 halves. 2 times 4 is 8, 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, then I just combined the two fractions. They had common denominators, so it was pretty easy. This is 60 over 2, okay, which plus 8 plus 35, but I can't add this, but I do know this is improper, and that when you divide 2 into 60, you get 30. So this can be rewritten as 30, and then add it to the rest of this. 30 plus 8 plus 35. So I know 35 plus 30 is 65, plus 8 is going to give me a total of 73 inches of rain for this problem. It does look like a lot, but just make sure that you go through each column and write its own parentheses and then just add them all up. Okay? Okay, here they want you to write the line plot shows how rainfall there was in Rhode Island over a 2-week period. So there's a lot of little moving parts here. Okay, so write and solve an equation that represents the total amount of rainfall. So I made a frequency chart for each one because it's a lot of little moving parts, okay? Rain, frequency, and then this column should be your multiplication. 4 showed up 2 times, 1/2 showed up 2 times, 3/4 showed up 3 times, 1 showed up 3 times, and so forth. Okay, then multiply it out. 1/4 times 2, 1/2 times 2, 3/4 times 3, and there's your answers. Okay, try your best. I know this one is tricky. Message me if you need my help. Click the link and do the work in your Envisions book. If you can't log in, this is page 713, numbers 5 through 6, and page 714, 10 through 11. Okay, take a picture, send it to me. I wish you the best of luck. Don't get flustered. It is just multiplying, and you know how to do this because we've done it before. Okay, I believe in you, and I can't wait to see your work.